Have you ever heard of plumbing rough-ins? When we talk about house construction, plumbing is often hidden literally and figuratively. You don't see the pipes behind your walls or under the floor, but once they leak, you'll wish you paid attention earlier. That's where plumbing rough-ins come in. Now, in this video, we'll explain what plumbing rough-ins are, why they matter, and how to spot common mistakes so that you don't run into costly surprises down the road. Let's dive in. Plumbing rough-ins are the first stage of installing your home's plumbing system before the walls, floors, and ceilings are finished. This is a critical phase because it determines where your water will come from, how wastewater will be removed, and how everything else in the plumbing system will be laid out. The plumbing rough-in is done in 2 stages. First, all the water supply pipes are installed. This includes the main water pipe from the street, the water meter, the water main in the house, any other water services such as irrigation or a pool. The second stage is the drainage, vent, and waste system. This includes the wastewater pipes from each fixture, the soil stack, and the vent stack. The main goal of the plumbing rough-in is to get all the pipes in place before the walls, floors, and ceilings are closed in. Once the walls are closed in, it's much more difficult to access the pipes and make changes. In addition to the main water and waste lines, the plumbing rough-in also includes the following: waste lines from each fixture, such as sinks, toilets, showers, and appliances. Vent stacks that allow sewer gases to escape and fresh air to enter the drains. Cleanouts that allow access to the drains for cleaning and inspection. Sleeves that pass through floors, walls, and roofs for things like faucets, hose, bibs, and rooftop equipment. And provisions for future work such as additional bathrooms or appliances. It's important to note that the plumbing rough-in is not the same as the plumbing fixtures, which are installed later during the finishing phase. The plumbing rough-in is the framework that supports the entire plumbing system, and the fixtures are installed on top of that framework. Now let's talk about why plumbing rough-ins are important. Well, for one thing, they happen early in the construction process, which means they can impact the schedule and budget of the entire project. If the plumbing rough-in isn't done correctly, it can cause delays and extra expenses later on. For example, if a pipe is installed in the wrong location or at the wrong elevation, it may not be discovered until the walls are closed in, and then it has to be cut open to make the change. This can also create problems for the homeowner. If a plumbing rough-in is not done correctly, it can create all sorts of headaches for the homeowner. For example, if there are not enough cleanouts, it can be difficult to clear clogs from the drains. Or if there are no sleeves for future fixtures, it can be impossible to add them later without major surgery to the house. So what are some common plumbing rough-in mistakes to avoid? Well, one mistake is not planning for future work. This can be a big problem if you're replanning to renovate or add on to your home in the future. For example, if you don't plan for a washing machine drain in the basement, you may not be able to add one later without tearing up your floor. Another mistake is not planning for accessibility. If you don't plan for accessible plumbing, it may be difficult or impossible to make modifications later on if someone in your household becomes disabled. Finally, a third mistake is skimping on quality. If you use cheap materials or labor, you're likely to have problems down the road. Remember, this is the framework for your entire plumbing system, so don't cut corners. I hope you've learned a lot about plumbing rough-ins and why they're so important. Remember, this is the framework for your entire plumbing system, so don't cut corners. If you want to learn more about plumbing, check out our other videos. Thanks for watching.